All right, time to pay up. Tax day is upon us, but if you are having trouble making ends meet, you could always thank Joe Biden. Remember, he promised he would never raise taxes on anybody making less than $400,000 a year. That was a lie. Never talking to Hunter about his business dealings, his foreign affairs. That was a lie. Biden inflation has been a 2-long-year tax on all of us, on average $10,000 for the average American household. It is squeezing Americans with high, outrageously high prices. And what about Biden's tax hike on corporations? They passed it on to you and your pension and retirement funds and natural gas and oil and coal, which gets passed on to all of us. No wonder more than 2/3 of Americans now are living paycheck to paycheck, unhappy with the state of our economy. And by the way, Biden filed his own tax return today, reporting an income of about $580,000 and paying about $180,000 in taxes between himself and the First Lady. I guess Hunter, who bitterly complained on his laptop that half his income is going to Pops, I guess Pops didn't get his cut this year. Here with reaction, Fox and Friends Weekend co-host Pete Hegseth and Fox Business host Brian Brenberg is here. Pete, let me start with you. Simple, if you look at the average American household, it's $36,000 a year they're giving the feds. You add a $10,000 Biden inflation tax. We're paying more for every item we buy in every store we go to. Now, prices are going to go higher again because gas prices are going up because Joe Biden unilaterally disarmed in terms of domestic energy production, and now OPEC has cut back 1.3 million barrels in terms of production every single day. So that means that lowers the supply, that increases, demand remains constant, increases the price.
Yeah, because of an assault on prosperity by Democrats and this administration, it's far more difficult than ever for a middle-class America to get ahead. Sean, I don't know if you know this, but Brian Brenberg and I lived 2 houses down from each other when we were kids in the late 80s and the 90s in middle class,
Wait, I got a question.
Nowhereville, Minnesota.
How many fist fights did you have?
Go ahead.
How many fights did you have?
None. We only
No
basketball
way.
games and football games. We're good. We're good buddies.
We fought every day, so I'm shocked. You must have grown up in the woke generation. I don't know.
No, we said
No. Good parents. Good parents.
I had good parents,
but my point is,
you're calling my parents awful. I heard you.
My point is,
I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. My point is, single wage earners in a small town could get ahead because it was meant to enable the American dream. And we live in a world today, because we're going to war on the things that make people get ahead, it's almost impossible. And when inflation outpaces wages, when government policies go to war with our policy, with the industries that make America great, you can't get ahead. And it's been Democrats. From Clinton said the era of big government was over. Not true. Obama came in, Biden came in, and they crushed that dream. So the families like the Hegseths and the Brenbergs don't have the opportunity in the middle class to get ahead, and it's a shame.
Brian, that is a shame. Your thoughts?
Yeah, no, Pete's right. Look, part of the problem is people's wages haven't grown in 2 years, Sean. That's a big deal. 24 months of real wages not growing. But worse than that, people are getting into debt. We're at record levels of household debt, consumer debt, credit card debt. So you think about that 1-2 punch. That's why people feel the way they do feel. And they look ahead to the future. And I think the real problem is everybody in this country knows we've got to move away from China. We've got to decouple. We've got to find some way to break our dependence on China. That's just a basic reality of economic life today. This administration is moving us headlong in the direction of more dependence. The Hegseths and the Brenbergs didn't drive cars that anyone wanted to write home about back in the day, but we could afford them. We could get around. We could live that middle-class life and make a better life for their friends and family. That's getting harder to do under this administration, and people know it. They just want a shred of hope. We can fix this. These are not natural causes. These are man-made problems that we have now, but we've got to have somebody else in the White House who's just got the good sense to help people out instead of making life worse.
Yeah. All right, I want an honest answer. So you guys lived near each other growing up, and not one time, you never had a fight, because whether we were playing hockey, football, baseball, basketball. We fought every day when I grew up. You didn't have one fight growing up? Not one?
Pete,
Maybe
we
on the
battled.
gridiron.
It was on the.
I
It
don't
was
know.
on the field. It was on the court. We fought like heck on the
It was on the
court.
field.
And then we walked off and we traded
We left
baseball
it
cards.
there.
That was life.
All right, I'll leave it there. Thank you both. More Hannity next.